Up next is Temple head coach Geoff Collins. Temple is 3-3 overall, 2-0 in the American. The Owls were in action Saturday against ECU. Temple won the game 49-6. Temple takes to the road this Saturday. They'll face Navy in Annapolis, Maryland, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS Sports Network. And as we mentioned at the top of the call, Isaiah Wright from Temple is the American Special Teams Player of the Week. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you'd take a minute to tie up the game against ECU, please, and what you expect to see as you head to Annapolis to face Navy on Saturday.
Yeah, was really proud of the guys, how hard they played. They were flying around. We hit on all cylinders on every phase of the game. Offensively moved the ball really well, played at a high level. Anthony Russo was throwing the ball really well. Our receivers had 0 drops on the game. I think Anthony threw as many touchdowns as he did incompletions, which is a really good, impressive feat against a good secondary. Defensively, I think we had 60% of the drives were created 3 and outs. Did really good on third down, so was really proud of that performance. And then special teams wise, every week we seem to make big plays in that phase of the game. And Isaiah did a really nice job in the return game, but was really proud of the blocking on the returns, kickoff returns and the punt returns as well. But it was a total team effort. Proud of the leaders on this team for getting the guys ready to play and ready to compete against a really good East Carolina team.
We'll take questions for Coach Collins, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
We'll take our next question from Mark Naducci with Philadelphia Inquirer.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Coach. 2 things. First, is there any update on Michael Armstead?
No, he's still getting better. He ran the ball really, really hard on Saturday, like he always does, and was tweaked a little bit. But it'll be a day-to-day working through and getting him healthy.
The other thing is, could you comment on Isaiah Wright? Because being named the Special Teams Player of the Week, it just seems like the last number of weeks he's just been increasing his load, increasing his productivity.
Yeah, Isaiah is a special player. He's a special athlete, and he's a tremendous competitor as well. And anytime that he gets the ball in his hands, he's an electrifying player that whenever the ball's in his hand, you just expecting something magical to happen. And that was the case on Saturday in the return game. He played snapper to a quarterback. And, got some good yardage that way as well. And as always, he's an elite receiver that draws a lot of attention coverage-wise, with his game.
Thank you. We'll take our next question from Bill Wagner with Baltimore Sun Media Group.
Hey, Bill.
Morning, Coach, or good afternoon, I should say. Your thoughts on Navy? Obviously, they're struggling a little bit right now. You faced them many years in a row over the years. Your thoughts on them, and their triple option doesn't seem to be quite the same as it's been in years past.
Well, I think they're, if not leading the country in rushing offense, they're definitely up there. So they've got some really good athletes. It's a tremendous scheme. Sports Illustrated just wrote an article about the triple option and the virtues behind it. So our guys are, understand the challenge. The quarterback's a dynamic player, and they rotate a couple of guys through. And then, the offensive line comes off the ball really, really hard. It seems like they're even got a little more size than they have in the past, so that's even more of a challenge. And they do a great job on the perimeter blocking, and they make you defend every single part of the field and make you be disciplined in your assignment, make you be disciplined with your eyes. And then defensively, they're very multiple, and they're playing really, really hard. Guys running to the ball, very fundamentally sound. So we've got a big challenge ahead of us.
And for those of us who are not, don't cover your program, what led to the change in quarterbacks?
We've got 3 quarterbacks that we feel really good about in this program. A lot of places, are rotating out of necessity. We've got guys that are really good, can play at a high level, and I'm proud of all the quarterbacks in our program.
All right, thank you, Coach.
We'll take our next question from Harry Donahue with Temple University.
Hey, Harry. Hello.
Oh, do we have Harry
you may have us unmute.
We'll pull that one off and go to the next one. We'll see if we can get Harry connected again.
We'll take our next question from Sean Pastor with Owls Daily.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Geoff. I wanted to ask about Sam Franklin. 1 week he's playing end, next week he's playing tackle. I think this past game he played both spots. I wonder as you get into the week, like what day are you determining, okay, here's where he's going to fit this week, and how do you kind of get into his practice schedule, figuring all that out over the course of the week?
Sure. Well, there. First of all, there's a lot of similarities, in the two positions, the way we do it schematically, the way we set up the terminology in our system. Every single player in our defense has to know what a pup technique is, what a spill technique is, what an outside blitzer is. If you're a C-gap defender, if you're a D-gap defender, what your responsibilities are. So the terminology, regardless of position, translates very well. And that's really why we're able to be so multiple and have guys have the ability to play a lot of different positions. But Sam does a great job for us. And then, we figure out, the first day we start game planning, figure out what the best role for him is based on the type of attack we're about to play and what our depth situation is, at each position. So, we'll figure that out. But we're really excited about Sam and how he's unselfishly made an impact for the team. And then he's a dominant special teams player for us as well. He was out there at gunner on Saturday being an elite gunner, which is essentially a wide receiver position. And then kickoff coverage, he's always one of the first ones down, making plays on the kickoff unit. So he has such a high value in this organization, what he does for this football team, regardless of the position that he plays. I'm really, really proud of him.
And so this week, is that something yesterday that you're figuring out? You got his sort of menu set for Navy, and then particularly with Navy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, he'll be playing outside backer for us.
Yeah. So playing up, up right. So look, I would have thought playing up front, particularly against what Navy does, if he's going to be putting a hand down, that's like a whole different world than playing end against, the more standard
right.
and spread looks and so forth.
Sure. That's right.
Yeah. So the other question, preseason you made a sort of a big deal about all the true freshmen when they came in. They had to earn their helmet stripes and logos and so forth. And I think by my count, roughly half of them at some point, towards the tail end of camp had earned that. I don't know if everybody, I just wanted to check up really on that. It's much later, but have all the freshmen earned their stripes, and when did that whole, process kind of wrap up?
Yep, that during preseason camp. I think we had three phases that we went through of different guys getting them. But by the end of the preseason camp, all the guys that reported the first day of camp, because if you go through one of our camps, the physical nature, how tough we are, if you can, practice with us and go through the entire camp, you've definitely earned your stripes. So proud of these guys. I'm proud of this culture, that's kind of led by the older guys, and the young guys just learn it really quickly. And, it's a great group of guys to be around.
Okay, thanks.
We'll take our next question from Harry Donahue with Temple Radio.
Hey
Geoff, the technical snafu. Sean Ryan, I know everybody knows you've had depth at wide receiver, but was it just his time last Saturday?
Well, I think, he's been, increasing his role, throughout the season, at the wide receiver position. But Ventel was not 100%, so he got a lot of the reps, in Ventel's place. And I thought he played at a really, really high level. And, excited to see him get out there and compete. Runs really good routes and has such strong hands and made some really good catches for us on Saturday.
Okay, thanks, Geoff.
And we'll take our next question with Matt Vender from owlscoop.com.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Geoff, how are you? So first off, just want to ask you about Dane Levine. Obviously, you got him back, even though he might have been a little bit limited on Saturday. But just going down the stretch now in conference play, to have that extra pass rusher back when you guys obviously were a little bit depleted at defensive end before he came back. So what does it mean to have him back in the rotation at the end?
Yeah. Well, I think my favorite thing is just the energy that Dana brings. He's such a competitor. He plays so hard. I think we got him in 10 plays on Saturday, and that was the number that we were trying to hit. Most of those were in pass rushing situations, but I thought he did a really good job, coming off the ball, playing at a high level in his limited snaps, but just the intensity that Dana brings, the passion, the grit that Dana brings to the defense and to the whole team was great to see and great to have him back out there with us.
And I know James McHale dressed for this game, didn't end up playing. Is he close to getting back for you guys?
He's he's closer.
You think you might have him this week?
I'm hoping so.
And that pretty much covers everything, Geoff. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Coach, we thank you so much for your time again this week. I look forward to talking to you again next Monday.